Hello everyone and welcome to Lovella's Coloring. How are you all doing? I hope that you are doing well and are ready for this summer that's coming up fast. And yeah, it's been a while since I've done a completed colorings video, so I'm a little bit out of practice, but I thank you so much for stopping by. I'm going to be sharing the completed colorings from March, April, and May. Finally, I am just happy to get this recorded because the books are starting to pile up and I really want to get them sorted and put away. So I am thinking that this video is going to end up being pretty long, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Grab a drink and a snack, relax, and most of all, I hope you enjoy this video. I'll be back in a few seconds after clearing off this desk. Okay, so before I start, I do want to let you know that there may be some barking and kids screaming in the background. Hopefully not. I told them that I'm going to recording again. I had to restart, but if there is, hopefully it's not too distracting. So I'm going to start off with the PDFs that I've colored between March and May. So here is my coloring journal, and in here the PDF that I colored is a calendar from Lynn's Patreon. So as a silver tier member, the calendar PDF is one of the freebies that she gives, and so I am coloring the images from the previous year. So that is the 2022 Patreon images. So here is March, and this is called Vivian's Ride, and it is a steampunk girl on a hot air balloon. I colored this with Ohuhu brush markers and colored pencils on top with a little bit of white Posca, some Aeon Art glitter gel pen, and then silver, is it gel pen? But I did miss a spot right over here. So this is Vivian's Ride. And then for April, I did Spring Reading. And for the blue hearts on her dress, I added that for Jamie's Coloring Love, her color along for Autism Awareness Month for April. And yeah, same thing, alcohol markers with colored pencils, glitter gel pens, and white Posca. And then for May, I forgot to write the name of the image, but the butterfly girl. And I colored her hair brown with purple lipstick for Norma Coloring's Color Long for May. And yeah, so those are the 3 Lynn Patreon calendars that I colored for my coloring journal. My next 2 PDFs are from Chris Riniak, and I did these 2 for Amanda Colors. That's her Instagram and her YouTube channel name, and it's for her color along called Frogs and Friends Color Along. So this came from the coloring book by Chris Riniak called Morning Scribbles Digital Coloring Book Frogs and Friends Edition. I don't know if this is available on Amazon yet. If it is, I will leave the link down below in the video description, as well as everything that I'm sharing in this video, all the books. I will leave links for them down below. So this I actually purchased through the Brindlewood, I think, brindlewood.com. I'll leave the link to that website also, so you can also purchase the digital copy through there. So these were the illustrations that were picked out for March, and for April I didn't get around to doing May. It was just a very busy month, which I will explain later on. But for both of them, I did use Copic markers. Only for this one, I did use Munoz Soft Pastel for the background. And then just a little bit of white Uniball Signal on that little droplet of water. So again, this one was for March. And then this one for April, I used, again, Copic markers. And for all the dots, I used the Tau Tree marker and some Posca and Uniball Signal for all the white dots. I do have a video sharing how I do this effect, so hopefully I'll remember and put up the link up here if you want to check that one out. So yeah, so these are my two PDF colorings from Chris Riniak's Morning Scribbles digital coloring book, Frogs and Friends edition. My next coloring is another Hannah Lynn illustration. This is from her most recent book called Fierce and Fantasy Faces coloring book. I have the PDF version, so I plan to just size them down. So I printed out 2 images to print onto 1 cardstock. So I'm hoping to color this soon, maybe next month. So this one is the pirate girl that I colored in April. And I think, oh yeah, I did right. So I did do a base of Ohuhu markers, and then for pencils I used the Caran d'Ache Luminance, and then for the gold in the background that you see, the splatter and the moon, that is the Kuretake Gansai Tambi Starry Colors with a little bit of Posca on the necklace, some gold and white Posca, and some Sakura metallic too. So yeah, so this is my first coloring from Hannah Lynn's Fierce and Fantasy Faces. My next completed PDF coloring is an illustration that I downloaded from Instagram, and it is by Penny Siam. I don't know if I said that incorrect, so I apologize if it's wrong, but I'll put her Instagram name up on the screen, and it was for her Nature House by Penny color along. And so I colored this image with Copic markers and then with a little bit of the Uniball Signo white gel pen for the flowers. And yeah, I ended up coloring this whole illustration in the kitchen. I just grabbed this and my bag of Copics and just colored away. My daughter, who was interning at the University of Washington, had virtual meetings to attend, so she used my desk area to do her meetings. So yeah, so this again is an illustration by Penny Siam. The last of my PDFs that I completed is an illustration by the lovely Mariola Blue, and this is my first illustration colored from her. And yeah, I'm very happy with how this turned out. I do have to leave it in the sleeve because the background, which is done with pan pastel, even though I sprayed another layer of workable fixative, I can still leave fingerprints on it. So yeah, so I decided to just leave it in the plastic sleeve. But yeah, I actually printed out this illustration sometime last year, but I've been having problems with the ink whenever I print on the Strathmore tone tan paper, but the ink would start rubbing off. So before I started this illustration, I sprayed it with workable fixative. I think it kind of works. It's just in some places I noticed that the ink was rubbing off, so maybe I need to do a couple of layers of workable fixative before I start. But you know, overall I am very happy with my first coloring from Mariola, and I hope to do more colorings from her. So I don't know if I would continue to use the tone tanned paper. Maybe I'll see. I gotta practice doing more portraits, which I told myself to do in April and in May, but I never got around to doing it. So anyways, this is my first coloring from Mariola Blue. I do have a couple more whips to share with you. They are my whips that I do want to try to complete. So the first one here is an image by Destiny Lauritsen. It's from her Creative Coloring Circle. If you subscribe to her email, you get a free image every month. So I believe this one is from April, I think. And so I based it and I started it, and I think I used Black Widow colored pencils, but yeah, I just have to go back and finish this one up. So this is called Girl in the Grove, again by Destiny Lauritsen. And then the other one is from Mueller. I forgot the name of the book. I'll put it up here, but this is one of the illustrations, and I started it. I believe I was using the Caran d'Ache Pablos, and I really love how the base look. I just need to finish shading it. So these are my 2 PDF whips that I want to complete. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you, I think there's 3 books that I have whips in that I want to work on and finish most likely next month in July. I'll be right back. So the first book is a Korean coloring book. This is called Shihyeon's Picturesque Day, the Happiest Time. And I wanted to try out the paper in this book. I started off with the Caran d'Ache Luminance, but I don't like how it feels on this paper. It looks so smudgy. So I might erase this and then use a harder leaded pencil, which is what I used over here. I can't remember which pencil I used, but I like the feel of it a lot better than using soft pencils on this paper. For this one, I used the Albrecht Dürer, Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer watercolor, and it did shadow a little bit. So as long as I don't use that much water, I think it looks great. So probably like for little details, I don't think I would use watercolor for big spaces in this book. But yeah, so I want to try to get this one done. So this is again Shihyeon's, sorry, I messed that up, but Picturesque Day, the Happiest Time. Okay, so my next whip is in the Night Voyage by Daria Song. I have a buddy color in here, and I so far didn't get that much done. I think I finished the wood panel in the background here, and then I started the crown, the rocking horse, and then I spent so much time trying to find the right washi tape for the presents because I wanted to cover them with washi tape. And finally on Amazon I found this set of washi tape called Cosmic Fantasy. I don't know if it's still on Amazon, but if it is, I will leave the link for it down below. But I love the colors that are in this set, so I want to use this for the presents, and I think it'll go well with the background too. So yeah, so hopefully I'll get started on this. I don't know if I'll be able to get started this month of June, but hopefully in July to continue with this 2-page spread. So this is my whip in the Night Voyage by Daria Song. The next whip I'm going to share with you, I'm actually planning to finish this month in June. It's a buddy color with the lovely Amanda Downey, and we picked the 41st page from a color by number book. So I don't know which page she's doing, but I picked this 41st page from the Le Grand Classique Tome 2 Disney coloring book. And so I've started this and I'm slowly working on it. I'm going to be doing the outline last. I want to see how it looks like with just using colored pencils. So I started off with the Black Widow colored pencil. And I think with the blues that I'm going to be doing over here, I couldn't find the right color. So I'm using the Color colored pencils here also. So yeah, hopefully this will be done soon. my first coloring in this book also, from the Le Grand Classique Tome 2 Disney coloring book by Hachette Hero. And my last two whips that I have that I hope to finish this month in June is from the Enchanted Faces, Mermaids, Fairies, and Fantasy pocket-sized coloring book by Hannah Lynn. I did not get to finish the pages that were picked for our Enchanted Faces coloring group in May, and they are the pages that I picked, but I did base them. I just have to finish them. So here is Amanda. Again, that is based, and I didn't know what this was, so I colored it like a wrap around the hair. I think it's supposed to be all hair, but oh well. That's what she's gonna look like. And then we have here Charla. Again, I just based it, and so I just had to finish it up with colored pencils and then lots of embellishments. And then I do have completed colorings in here. Here is Tellula's Treasure, and for this page, this was done in March. I use Ohuhu brush markers for the base, and then with the pencils, I used the Tombow recycled colored pencils, and then the Tombow Erosion, as well as the Caran d'Ache Luminance, which I think I used to smooth out her skin. For the moon here, I used the Kuretake Gansai Tambi Starry color. And then for the tail here is the opal colors from the Kuretake Gansai Tambi. I also used some white Posca, and then on her hair is a lot of Sakura Stardust. So this is March, and then for April, I completed Shihyeon. Again, you can see all that Sakura Stardust in her hair, and again the Kuretake opal colors on the tail. I don't know if you can see it. And I also used Ohuhu brush markers. For her skin, I used the Caran d'Ache Luminance. I really like how smooth her skin looks on, especially on the Amazon paper. And then I also used the Tombow Erosion with some Prisma White, which I think I used on the tail. And yeah, and some white Posca. So those are my whips and my completed colorings in Enchanted Faces by Hannah Lynn. The next several colorings that I completed are from Lulu Mayo. So I'm going to start off with A Million Cute Animals, Adorable Animals to Color by Lulu Mayo. And I did this as a buddy color with Jamie from Jamie's Coloring Love. And I'll go ahead and put up her very beautiful coloring on this side. And yeah, I colored all of the images from the Lulu Mayo books for her color along, and then it was also for several other color alongs too. I have a long list. Usually with all of the colorings that I share, they are for several color alongs on Instagram and here on YouTube. So thank you so much, Jamie, for hosting your color along and for the buddy colors in Lulu Mayo's book. So here is my version of this illustration. So for this page, I used Castle Arts colored pencils and the Castle Arts pastel tints. I did have to switch pencils and use the Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. You can tell on the fox here, the purples, and then in the tree, how smooth it looks. That is the Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. And then the pants here on the rabbit. And then everything else is done with the Castle Arts. Yeah, I don't really like doing dark colors with the Castle Arts. I end up having to go back over it again just to smooth it out and to add more color because it feels like it fades. Not like the Prismacolor where you can see it set once you blend all the colors. And then I also used the Uniball Signo white gel pen to outline the flowers. And then I believe there's some Sakura Stardust. And then on the collars here is the Kuretake Gansai Tambi Starry color. And I kind of got scared using it because I think I was supposed to use it for the rest of the design on the shirt. But it felt like the water was going through the paper. So I just stopped. I just did a little bit here. I might have been using too much water. So yeah, I'm not sure about using watercolor just for myself. I'm not that confident using it on the Lulumeo books, maybe the US edition. So yeah, so that is my completed coloring in the Million Cute Animals by Lulumeo. Next by Lulu is A Million Kawaii Cuties, and this one I don't have a completed coloring for Jamie, but she redid this page as a buddy color, and she really liked this page. She picked this one out, so I hope she liked this page that I did. I dedicated it to her for her birthday in May. So for this one, I did a pastel theme. So it also worked for Liz at Home here on YouTube. She had a, I'm sorry, I forgot what the hashtag is. It was pastel from March to June, I think. I'll put up her hashtag up here as well as her Instagram and YouTube name. So for this page, I used the Indra Creative Pastel colored pencils and also the Castle Art colored pencils and the pastel tints. The regular Castle Arts I used to color the golds and the silvers. And then I also used some Sakura Metallic on the little details as embellishment, some white Posca, gold Posca, Zig Wink of Stella on the dress. I don't know if you can see the shimmer there. And yeah, really love how this turned out. The white Posca, I don't know if you can see it, but the really white ones are standing out. All around the other ones, I used the white Uniball Signo. I was just scared that it might, if I used white Posca, it would just blend too much because of the soft colors. So I used the white Uniball Signo. But yeah, very happy with this very cute page. It's my first one from the Million Kawaii Cuties by Lulumeo. And then in A Million Sea Creatures by Lulumeo, I have two colorings in here. The first one is another buddy color with Jamie for her color along also. So I'll go ahead and put up her very adorable coloring on this side. And yeah, such a cute coloring. So thank you, Jamie. And so with this one, I use Arteza to color this illustration. I added some Sakura Stardust to her hair, some Sakura Metallic on the details, white Uniball Signo on the bubbles and on the little details and these little creatures. But yeah, super cute illustration, very fun to color. And so that is my buddy color with Jamie. And then I have one more page here which I did as a buddy color with Mini Rach here on Instagram, or here on YouTube and on Instagram. So I'll go ahead and put her super adorable coloring on this side. And she picked out this page. Well, actually, I think her boyfriend picked out this page because the seagulls reminded him of the birds from Finding Nemo. The one that keeps saying, mine, mine. So, yeah, lots of fun. Thank you, Rachel, for the buddy color. And yeah, so the background up here, the purple and the pink, I did with the Munoz Soft Pastel. The rest of it, I colored with Black Widow. There is some Sakura Stardust. To outline, I use both the white Posca and the white Uniball Signo. So yeah, lots of fun. I tried to make sure to add hints of purple for shading for the whale and the seagulls. But yeah, another very cute illustration. Had so much fun coloring this page. So those are my 2 completed colorings from Lulumeo's A Million Sea Creatures. So very quickly, I just want to share a coloring that my son Matthew did in the Far Out Space Adventure coloring book. Just like out of the blue, he just asked me if he can color in one of my coloring books. So he picked this one out and let him use my markers, which even though he had a card, it kind of like slipped right through. It's okay. I plan to use markers in this book anyways, so yeah, so he used markers and then he also used some pencils on top. I really like that he kind of like made like marble look over here and then a sunset on this side. Because I don't think that was in there. Yeah. So yeah, this is my son Matthew's completed coloring in the Far Out Space Adventure coloring book. I forgot to mention that this book is no longer available. I'll check again. If it is, I'll put the link down below. But last time I checked, it was not. There's a lot of books that I have that no longer is available on Amazon, like the Kawaii coloring books. Hopefully those are going to come back. But yeah, I just want to let you know that this book is no longer listed on Amazon. My next completed coloring is in Matchstick Mouse, a springtime coloring book by Morgan O'Brien. I did my first completed coloring in here with the lovely Bee from Be Cozy. Let me go ahead and put up her beautiful coloring on this side. So thank you so much, Bee, for doing this buddy color with me. Got me to do my first page in here. So for my coloring, I did a base of Ohuhu brush markers. I did do the background with Munyo soft pastels, but because it was so light, I went over it with pencils. I used both the Muji colored pencil and the Faber-Castell Gold Faber. Did a little bit of white Posca on the eye and then some Sakura Stardust and then Wink of Stella on the hat. I don't know if you can see the shimmer of that. And yeah, so that is my first coloring in Matchstick Mouse, a springtime coloring book by Morgan O'Brien. I have another Matchstick Mouse. This one is the Floral coloring book by Morgan O'Brien. And the first coloring that I did in here is the first page, which I did as a buddy color with the lovely Judith. Did 2 more colorings in here as buddy colors with Judith. So thank you so much, Judith, for doing these pages with me. She's trying to finish her book, so I'm kind of helping her by coloring in here too. So I did a base of Ohuhu brush markers. The background, I was inspired by the cover of the springtime coloring book. Instead, I did mine's purple on the outside instead of the purple in here in the middle. But using kind of the same colors, I did it this way. I also used this same color background for a couple more pages, which are in this stack. But yeah, so that was done with the Munyo soft pastel. And then for pencils, I think I said Muji colored pencils and the Faber-Castell Gold Faber, white Posca for the dandelions, and again, Zig Wink of Stella for the hat. Very cute. And then this was done, I believe, in March, and then this one was done in April. Again with Judith, a base of Ohuhu brush markers, and then the pencil sets that I use is the Erosion 10 colored pencils and the Arteza colored pencils. And I think the only other embellishments that I use is a little bit of white Posca, a little dotted everywhere. I didn't use the Wink of Stella this time on the hat. I think I forgot. So that is the one for April. And here's another one. We did 2 for April. And so this one, again with Judith, I did base this with a hoo-hoo again and Munoz soft pastel to darken the circle. And then for pencils, I used a Caran d'Ache Pablo and a little bit of silver gel pen, and then the blue gel pen here for Jamie's Coloring Love, the Autism Awareness color along. So those are my completed colorings in Matchstick Mouse, a floral coloring book by Morgan O'Brien. My next completed coloring is in Whimsical World number 5, Fairies, Mermaids, Witches, Angels, Animals, and More by Molly Harrison. This was a gift from Amanda, so I'm so happy to finally get to color in here. This was for Easter, so I believe in April. And I did a base of a hoo-hoo markers. Yep, and then the background is done with Munoz soft pastel. For pencils, I used the Caran d'Ache Pablo. I have some Sakura Stardust and then white Posca. Very cute page. Just so happy to have one done in her book. So many cute illustrations in here. So that is my completed coloring. My first one too, from Whimsical World number 5 by Molly Harrison. Next is Bottle Treasures, Mosaic Color by Number Adult Coloring Book by Alice Mills Publishing. This is the premium paper edition. I did several in here. I don't have that much left to do. I think I can finish it hopefully in the next few months. So I did Precious Tweeter. I did Horizon Setting. And Bows and Bells. Wait, that's it? Yep. Oh wait, no, in March. I did Alpine Castle and Lighthouse Memory. Oh, and Pinocchio Nose. Yeah, so I forgot I didn't share March. So those are my completed colorings from Bottle Treasures by Alice Mills Publishing. And the next book is Creative Haven Flower Mandalas coloring book by Marty Noble. And I have one coloring in here that I colored for Amanda Colors, her AC Palette Challenge color along. And the palette that she had for March, this is for March, I used the colors that were recommended from Ohuhu for Ohuhu, and I don't know, it came out darker than what the color palette looked like, but it still looks pretty. And yeah, so I only got one done. I wasn't able to do another one, but that is my completed coloring in Creative Haven Flower Mandalas by Marty Noble. My next completed coloring is in A Sweet Critters World grayscale coloring book. This is by Evelyn Van Coatsum. I did a flip through and review of this coloring book. I'll leave a link up above here if you want to check it out. It also has the speed coloring of the completed coloring in here that I'm going to share with you. And it's of the goose with the flowers and her pearls. I really love how this one turned out. So for this page, I used Prismacolor colored pencils. The sky was done with Munoz soft pastel. I did use a little bit of white Posca, I believe, for the pearls. And then for the flowers, I outlined it with white Uniball Signo. So yeah, Very, very pretty. I'm really happy with this page. I did want to try out this paper just using colored pencils, especially the Prisma, so very happy with how it worked out in this paper. She does have her version over here, so I didn't want to copy it. I actually wanted to do my own colors, so it's kind of the same colors for the flowers, but different for the pearls and for the top. But yeah, so that is my first completed coloring in A Sweet Critters World by Evelyn Van Coatsum. My next coloring is in Art Therapy Le Grand Carré Disney Love Stories. This is by Hachette Hero. And I did my first coloring in this book as a buddy color with the lovely Amanda again. So let me go ahead and put up her beautiful coloring on this side. And yeah, so happy to do this page. It was a lot of fun. I did watch the movie a couple times with my son Mason for inspiration. So yeah, very, very happy with this page. And as you can see, I used the same colors as the one that I did in Matchstick Mouse, and I did them all at the same time. I can't remember if I have another one, but I sprayed them after I did the background. I sprayed it with the workable fixative, so I can just spray it all at once. So I did a base of a Hoo brush markers. See it right here. And then for pencils, I used the Holbein Artist Colored Pencils. And then I used a lot of white mediums. I used white Posca, white Uniball Signo, the Dr. P.H. Martin Bleed Proof White to splatter in the background for the galaxy look. And then I also used the Kuretake Gansai Tambi for the rays right over here, the opal colors. Very pretty. And yeah, so that is my first completed coloring. The characters from Wall-E, and this is Eva, or is it just Eve? Eve and Wall-E. So this is the Art Therapy Disney Love Stories by Hachette Hero. And next, here I have the Japanese coloring book, the Ken Matsuda coloring book, and I did my first coloring in here as a buddy color with the lovely Bee from Bee Cozy Coloring. Let me go ahead and put her gorgeous coloring on this side. So I want to thank Bee so much for doing this buddy color with me, because I don't think I would have colored in here. It would have taken me forever to find the courage to just jump in. But yeah, very, very happy with this page. So thank you so much, Bee. She also gave me suggestions and advice for coloring in this book. I did forget because it did show up a little bit on this side. You can see where I pressed down. And because the paper is very thin, oh, it's not very thin, it's just thin enough that you can see through. You can dent the paper if you press it too hard. So yeah, I just forgot a little bit, but for the rest of it, it was okay. I did ask her about watercolors, but I was too afraid to do that, so I just stuck with pencils. So I used the Holbein Artist Colored Pencil for the little drops on the water droplets on the flowers. I used the Uniball Signo White Gel Pen just to outline it a little bit and embellish it. But yeah, this is my first coloring in Ken Matsuda's coloring book. My next coloring is in Circle of Life, and this is by Melpa Chatsi Panagioto. And I was inspired to color in this book and to color this image for several color alongs. And so that's what I did. It was just, I already pictured it. I knew what mediums I wanted to use. So I used a lot of Derwent pencils. So I started off with Derwent Inktense, and then Derwent Graphite Tint for, I think, the mountains and the sky over here. I also used Derwent Light Fast and the Derwent Pro Color to color it in. I did try to match the colors up, like the blues from the bird matches the blue on the hourglass, the reds to the red tent, the sunset to the flowers. And so, yeah, very, very happy with this page. I thought it was good enough without the background. And plus, I think I was already set to start another coloring, so I called it done. So that is my coloring in The Circle of Life by Melpa Mini Chetsi Panayshioto. And next I have Mythographic Color and Discover Voyage by Joseph Cannonbang. And in this book I have my first coloring, which is the first page of this book too. And this was for several color alongs also. On Instagram, I always list which hashtags I enter the coloring for, and usually each and every one of my colorings are for several color alongs. So I try to join as many as I can each month. But yeah, if you want to check out which ones I've joined, please check out my Instagram. So for this page, my daughter told me that it looked like Alice was escaping from the dandelions. And I wonder if it is. I wonder if this is what the inspiration was of Alice escaping the dandelions. But it doesn't tell you what the name of the image is anymore, since they took out the find and search items. So kind of have to make up your own titles for this page. But yeah, really happy with this page. You can see that I did the same background again, but instead of using soft pastels, I used the distress ink. And I also used alcohol markers to base the lion and the butterflies. And then for pencils, I used Color colored pencil. A lot of white Posca for the dandelion. See, and you can see that there's some Sakura Stardust on her outfit, and white Uniball Signo. See the little girl? But yeah. So my first page done in Mythographic Voyage by Joseph Cannonbang. So I finally colored in Animorphia by Kirby Rosanes. This is actually my second copy. My first copy, the paper was very thin. This one is the one I purchased last year from Book Outlet. So the paper is a lot thicker, but even though I ended up not even using watercolor, I used distress ink for the water in the background. And then to color this all in, I also used distress ink on the whale. And then to color it all in, I used Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. So let me go ahead and do a close-up. I had so much fun picking out colors for each school of fish. And the little ghost thingies, they look like they're from Pac-Man. But yeah, I had a lot of fun just seeing this page come together. I love the bright colors here. It looks all neon-y. I think I finally used my neon from Prismas in this portion of the page. Oh, manta rays, a shark, a whale. So yeah, very happy with this page. I also use white Posca for the waves here, Uniball Signo to outline the fishes, and then some Dr. Peach Bleed Proof White for all the splattering, for the bubbles coming out of the mouth, coming out of here, the shark, all the bubbles over here. So yeah, very, very happy and so glad that I finally completed page out of Animorphia, or double page spread actually. So I think I got a double page spread done from each of Kirby Rosanes's book, except for one. There's one that I haven't colored in, which is the Mythic Worlds, I think. So I still have to color in that one. So this is my first completed coloring from Animorphia by Kirby Rosanes. And my last completed coloring that I'm going to share with you in this video is Alien Worlds, again by Kirby Rosanes. I think this is part of my haul that I haven't shared yet, so hopefully I can get that done in the next few days. I just went ahead and colored a double page spread in here because I was just so inspired by the color alongs and all of the beautiful videos that were shown of the colorings from this book. So this is the page that popped out to me to color, and also I thought it was going to be fast because it was just mostly clouds, but it was the clouds that took me forever. But so I'm glad I got it done. I really like how it turned out. So for this, I used Neocolor 2s for the background here. And the paper in here, I don't know, maybe I'm just using too much water, but it did go through a little bit here and here. But this page is going to be colored in, so I don't think I have to worry about that. A little bit of the purple showed up on here. So again, I think it should be easily covered once you color on here. But I ended up switching and using the Distress ink to do a base color on the clouds. And so I got that done. I even went over the little islands floating on it because I wanted it to have like a little bit of a pink in it, to show that it was reflecting off the clouds or something. And I used the Color, did I use Color? Yeah, a little bit of Color colored pencils, and then also the Prismacolor Premier colored pencils to especially color the planet here. I started blending it with several different purples. It kept switching because it was either too bright, too dark, too something, and then I don't know, I think I changed my mind and I decided to water down some acrylic paint, and then just went over here and just started making swirls, and I did layers of swirls on here. So yeah, from afar it looks good. When you look up close, it kind of looks messy. But overall, I think this was a great page. Had a lot of fun, a lot of pink. Then I also added a blue heart on the spaceship, and it was for, again, Jamie's autism awareness color along. But yeah, I have to make sure I remember to color these creatures the same color for the other pages, because that's the same monsters. Oh, it's not that one, but it is this one. And then also the fish with wings. But yeah, so that is my completed colorings from March, April, and May. I think my next completed colorings video will not come out until August. I just started coloring again a few days ago, so I'm not going to have much done in July, so I'm just going to add that to my July completed colorings. And if you've watched my May Color Your Hoard video, you may remember that I mentioned that my family visited last month. They came in like mid-May and stayed until like the first week of June. So during that time, I did in color. We all just wanted to spend as much time as we can with my parents while they were here, and then also with my brother and sister and their spouses. We haven't seen them in person since like Christmas 2019, before COVID. So yeah, we spent a lot of quality time together, just hanging out and catching up. And with my kids growing up so fast, there was a lot of stuff that we celebrated, like my oldest daughter, May, her graduation from University of Washington. And then we also celebrated my youngest daughter, Malia. She got accepted into the nursing program, so she'll be attending this upcoming fall. And then my oldest son, Matthew, he's finishing up 8th grade and will be in a high school next year, which is, oh yeah, it's already chaotic with him. And then my youngest son, Mason, I am still homeschooling him through a program with our school district, and he's doing great. He's doing an excellent job. He's finishing up his 1st grade. He still has school until like I think the 23rd, and so far he's almost done with his 2nd grade curriculum. So he's in 1st grade, but he's doing 2nd grade work. So next school year he's going to be doing 3rd grade work. So I don't know how much that's going to be. So it's going to be interesting to see what his schedule is going to be like and how much busier it's going to be. Hopefully I'm going to have my daughters help me with especially like math or writing and stuff, because I'm not so good at that. So and then also my husband and I, we opened our townhouse that we moved from last year to be used as an Airbnb or and Verbo, and we just started it this year. So the first few months were people, booking it for several weeks, so it wasn't that busy. And then when April came around, we got a lot of short stays to whole week stay, and so we've been pretty much booked each month. I think we're booked all the way to August. So yeah, it just keeps me busy doing a lot of laundry, a lot of cleaning, making sure the inventory is filled, and that is on top of everything else that we have going on at home. So yeah, that's why I haven't been able to do many videos this past couple months. So if you're here watching, I thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. And even though you don't like my coloring or my video, I am thankful that you're up to this point on my video and that you stopped by to watch it. I'm just sorry that I can't do more right now for my channel, but whenever I can do more videos, I'm going to try to get them out and to you guys. So again, thank you all so much. And I think I've been talking for a while, so before I let you go, I want to thank T. I want to thank you, T, so much for your support, not only for the Color Your Hoard videos, but for being one of my best friends and reminding me to take it easy, and for always making me laugh. I also want to thank all of my buddies from our buddy colors from March to May. Thank you, B, Judith, Rachel, and especially all the ladies of the Enchanted Faces group. I also want to give a big shout out to the lovely Veronica Salinas, and to your daughter. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. So yeah, I will see you all in my next video. Sending you all big hugs and lots of love. Please take care, keep safe, and happy colorings, my friends. Bye-bye.